Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and we're going to talk about Absolute Flash because I read Absolute Flash, and it's basically like the Incredible Hulk, but featuring Wally West. And I'm saying that is because basically, Wally West, Wally West's father works on a project that he can't really talk about. I think it's called Project Olympics or something like that. And he's kind of alone. His mom died. There's no Iris at all. So, it is Barry Allen. We do see Barry Allen. He's a scientist who works there. He takes good interest in Wally, and he thinks that like Wally is smart enough to maybe work on a project or whatever. But the dad is just like absolutely not. But the thing about this story is it flashes between the present and the past. So we're seeing moments of like Wally freaking out about, where he's at right now while trying to run away, while also flashing back to the couple of days before whatever happened. And he's just talking to his dad about like how it's tiring, moving, not being able to interact with anybody or whatever. And then he's like, you never paid any special attention to me or whatever. And he was like, at least Barry Allen paid some kind of attention to me, and he was like, I wish my mom was still here because we would be both gone and you can have this project all to yourself. But Barry is kind of taking an interest in Wally because, he was like, well, so what's your hobbies? What's your interests or and stuff like that. He was like, he does like science. He likes music and art, but, his dad would never let him do hardly anything because all he wants him to do is stay in the house all the time, and he just doesn't want to do that because he was out. He came home late. His father was worried about him. He was like, why are you out so late? Why are you here in the lab? You shouldn't be here in the lab. And he was just like, Dad, you never let me do anything or whatever. He was like, you can't do anything. You need to stay in the house. You need to stay away from people, or whatever. And that's when that they had their little argument or whatever. And then it just kind of cuts back to him waking up in the desert, freaking out, running. And then of course we see the Rogues. The Rogues are after him. They're gonna track Wally West down, and we see him running. And he's running, trying to outrun them, trying to figure out what the hell is going on with life right now. Because he's freaking out. Of course he's freaking out. It's not really much of a long story. And another thing too, this was really a short book. And that's I'm sorry. Like, DC and Marvel are starting to become bad with these entry comics where it's just like they do so much setup for the first comic book. It's just like, nah, there should have been a little bit more than this shit. Because there's really not much to really say. Because then it cuts back to they had another argument at home or whatever. He leaves or whatever, and he decides to go down to the base where his father and Barry Allen works at to talk to Barry because he's trying to figure out because Barry is the only person who kind of like actually wants to get to know Wally, while his dad doesn't, and that's what Wally kind of yearns for. And he hears something going on in the lab. He was like, Barry, I wanted to talk to you about some stuff or whatever. Like he just want to like get, talk to Barry Allen. And he goes more and more into the lab because the door's kind of open or whatever. And he was like, Barry, are you there? Can you hear me? Where are you? Right? So he gets further into the lab, and Barry Allen's in a flash suit inside of this big cylinder dome or whatever. And he was like, Wally, what are you doing here, kid? And he was like, Barry, what's going on? What's happening? And, some kind of bright light of explosion done happen. And the next thing we know, we cut back to, we cut forward to Wally in the cave trying to figure out, like, holy crap, what happened and stuff like that. And the rogues done found him, and he was like, and they called the dad, and it was like, so what do you want, him dead or alive? And he's like, alive for right now. Like, oh, okay, so that's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. So then we cut back to a villain who is like mysteriously smiling or whatever, and he's watching the rogues go after Wally West, and I think this is a hint that he might be Mirror Master, because it doesn't look like Mirror Master is there with the rogues eventually, but he was like, everything is coming according to plan. Let's see where this all goes, right? And then you see it cuts over to a dead skeleton of Barry Allen in the Absolute Flash costume that they've been promoting, and he's dead because you see his ID number and you see his charred skeleton in the lab explosion, and then that's it. Like, that's about it. There is, as much as I really wish I could tell you more, that is really nothing right there. It's really nothing there. I know some people are like, oh my God, Absolute Flash is the best comic book or whatever. Not really. No, it's really not. Because it's a setup, but it's an expedition setup. So it's just like, it's more of like them kind of going back and forth between a few days ago and the present. And that's it. And now we see the explosion. You might as well have had him running out in the desert at first, getting chased, and then him flashing back to like everything that happened leading up to the explosion, then jump to present. That would have been a little bit more better. Like, I hate those constant jumping between time moments, because it kind of dilutes your story. Like, no, just stick with the story. You know what I'm saying? Just so we can get a little bit of resemblance of what this is supposed to be, because it's really nothing. Am I saying not to pick up the book? I mean, if you want to pick up the book, you can. You don't have to. I'm not saying the artwork is ugly. I'm not saying the story is boring, but it's too quick. And the setup is all over the place at a time like this. Because we already got that with Wonder Woman and Superman. The only story that ain't got that bullshit is Absolute Batman. And that book is okay at best, to be honest. So, we'll see. Like I said, there's nothing much to really say. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Absolute Flash. Did you guys read Absolute Flash? Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. And isn't it funny how Absolute Flash is focusing on Wally West, but Absolute Green Lantern, instead of focusing on, I don't know, Kyle Rayner, which would have made more sense, they focus on that bitch JoJo Mulligan that nobody cares about. Out of all the Green Lanterns to focus on, that's another day. That's another topic, because I haven't read Absolute Green Lantern. Maybe I'll read Absolute Green Lantern and then give my whole full thought breakdown for that one. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.